All right, so let's say that's fine.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wealth Wednesday show. We are so excited to see you, and we are happy to have you once again on the Wealth Wednesday show. As always, this is a show where we get to discuss matters to do with business and finances, as well as discuss trending topics about money. And tonight we are going to discuss one of the most trending topics, especially this year, that has seen most people wondering what is it about, and that is Bitcoin. So we have an amazing guest in the house. His name is Mr. Kaptich. He is a Bitcoin and digital assets consultant. He will be taking us through what Bitcoin is, how does it work, and many other things. So before we can get in, I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel by pressing the subscribe button below there. Turn on notification, and most of all, watch our videos so that you can acquire money skills at your convenience. Without taking much time, Mr. Kaptich, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
All right, yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be at your show, just to help people understand what is all this we are talking about. So yeah, clearly, my name is Luis Kaptich. I'm one of the people who are really driving for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption and also understanding, based here in Nairobi. So that is basically my work, just to educate and inform the bigger public about the about what are bitcoins, what is blockchain, what is all these things that people are talking about. So that is me, and thank you again.
You're most welcome, and I know you're doing an amazing job creating awareness about Bitcoin, as we've had both the bad and the good side of Bitcoins. And knowledge is power. When you have knowledge about something, then you're able to make a wise decision about it, and you don't have to go with hearsay. So, and this leads me to today's topic. In simple terms, like in layman's language, would you define Bitcoin and cryptocurrency to that person who is not in finance, who is just um just a normal person? How would you define Bitcoin to them and cryptocurrencies?
All right, I think yeah, that's a very good start to get to define a few things that maybe at times people think they are very big words, but to keep it simple, the first word that maybe people know so much is Bitcoin, and that is just a product of the first word, which is cryptocurrencies. So it'd be like, what are cryptocurrencies? So cryptocurrencies are just a form of it's a form of money. It's a form of a way of transacting, but not with your physical currencies. And if you take it notch lower, I mean, cryptocurrencies. Those are two words: crypto and currencies. Currencies, I think everybody knows what currencies are. These are medium of exchange. It's a store of value. But when we talk about crypto now is a is a programmable part of that currency. That's why people say it's digital money. And Bitcoin is just rather was the first form of cryptocurrencies that is known, and that it is the most valuable. So I hope that maybe clears it out. So in short, Bitcoin is the first digital form of currency, and then cryptocurrencies are basically uh, like a way you can say you have a form of money that it is not physical but digital. I think that's people tend to use the two terms, but both of them. The key point to know is that number one, it's digital, and it is money. That is the two key things.
All right. You know, we are in the era of digitization and everything is going digital. You've seen businesses going digital, and everyone is, talking about digitization. And you've just said Bitcoin is more of a digital money. Now, how does it work?
All right. How does it work? I think before you get to how it's working, I think it's good to maybe first of all people to define what money is, because I realize and I'm sure since you're also a financial wellness consultant, most people don't know what money is to begin with. We just tend to use in fact maybe if you ask maybe some of the even people watching this or which watch later, if they can tell you the differences between money and currency, very few people would actually tell you the difference. They'll tell you money is currency and currency is money, but really they are two different things. And just like the way we have this light that we, as long as you put it on the switch, you have light, and that is what actually most people do. As long as I can hold a dollar, I can hold a Kenya shillings, I can go to the shop and pay for something. People don't really know how this paper is that form of currency or money, depending on how you use it. So, how Bitcoin works is actually what now coming back to the question. Bitcoin is working digitally, meaning you need a phone, basically a phone with a wallet. So if you want to pay for a service, if you want to get paid for a service, you can opt to be paid in cryptocurrencies, which is now Bitcoin. So how it works, it has, and this is where I think I'll introduce a term called blockchain. I think blockchain is what people know. So blockchain is a technical part of this ecosystem. And of course, and no one really want to know how the innings of working. You just need to know that it is working. There is something called blockchain. There's a system of computers that verify these transactions online, or rather globally. The other term that maybe people also need to really remember is what we call, it's a decentralized ecosystem, meaning it's not a centralized way of doing things. It's decentralized system that works globally, and as long as you paid for a service, and of course, talk about payments. Of course, now this is where value comes. What is the value of this Bitcoin? Because I think that is the other thing that now, if I'm paying you, I need to know what is the value of this thing I'm paying you. So I think the last time we had this meeting with you, I think a couple of, I think one year. I think it's more than 1 year. The value of this Bitcoin was, I think, was at about 7,000, if I'm not wrong, dollars for one digital unit of this Bitcoin. Today, being the 28th of July, it is exchanging for, is it $37,000? So this is a form of money that doesn't really depreciate; it keeps on appreciating.
All right, it seems we have lost our guest, and as we wait for him to join us back, he has mentioned that Bitcoin is simply digital currency, the same way we have digital money. And he has also said that the value of Bitcoin has increased tremendously uh, between last year and this year. So, meaning in a period of 12 months, Bitcoin has increased more than 100% in value. So, as we wait for him to join us again, I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about Bitcoin? As well as let us know where you're watching us from so that we can get to uh, so we can get to know and hear more about you. So you can send us a hi in the chat box and let us know where you're watching this live show from, and share with us your thoughts. What do you think about Bitcoin? Mr. Kaptich, welcome back. You were talking about Bitcoin and how it works. Mr. Kaptich, are you able to hear me? I am not sure if he's able to hear. If you're able to hear me, you can
Yes,
take the
I was talking
conversation
about
forward.
how. I'm sorry for that. I don't know what happened, but I think it's good we are back on. So Bitcoin has been working for the last 12 years. That is one thing that maybe our audience need to know. It's been working for the last 12 years. It has no downtime. The fact that I mentioned that it is a decentralized system. Rather, there is no central place of operation. Um, Unless maybe somebody is from a from a technical angle, then they really want to know the innings of how it works. But just know, as simple as you having your phone with an application, and then you have internet, you are good to go.
Okay. You mentioned something that the
Yes,
exchange value. I think again you've lost him, but he had mentioned something about the exchange value of Bitcoin, and once he comes back, he will be able to tell us or let us know if it's possible to convert Bitcoin into cash. Because this is a question most people tend to ask: am I able to convert my Bitcoin into cash? So, Louis, you just mentioned that the exchange value of Bitcoin has actually risen in the last 12 months by more than 100%. Because you mentioned last year it was one Bitcoin was equivalent to 7,000 USD, but
yes.
now it's 37,000. Now I'm just wondering, is one able to convert Bitcoin into cash the same way when you have gold, you are able to transact or exchange it to be given hard cash or money? Are you able to do the same with Bitcoin?
Yes, hope you can hear me. Yes, you can actually convert your digital holdings in terms of Bitcoin into physical cash, depending on where you are. So before I give you examples of where you able to do that, uh, I think one maybe two key things to note in this at this point in time is that you can convert your bitcoins to any currency of the world. So meaning Bitcoin has no border limitations. If you have one Bitcoin let's say in Dubai, and I have one Bitcoin in Kenya, it will more or less exchange for the same value to fiat. Fiat is basically currency that are regulated by government by declaration fiat. So you have Kenya shillings, you have dollars, you have pounds, you have
Mhm.
euros, you have rands. So any Bitcoin would convert basically to that form of currency, but they are pegging the value with the dollar because the dollar is like the global reserve. So yes, as rightly put it, today you can exchange your one Bitcoin, meaning you can cash it out. So I like using what we know. If today I'm coming to let's say Dubai, I need to
Mhm.
change my Kenya shillings. I need to
Mhm.
buy dollars. So I'll either go to the bank or go to the Forex
Mhm.
Bureau to exchange. So if I have Bitcoin, what do I do? In this case, I may not need to really convert it into Kenya shillings. I may actually just buy a ticket straight using my Bitcoins. But in case I want to buy something and the particular trader or merchant doesn't accept Bitcoin, I may have to convert my Bitcoins to Kenya shillings. So where do I go? I go to now what you call online exchanges. They're not physical, they're online, meaning you have to sign up on a platform. Basically, you have to identify yourself. This is what we call know your customer, what banks normally do. So once you are approved, then now you can freely exchange your Bitcoins for dollars or Bitcoins for rands, depending on where you are. So yes, you can exchange that. And at the moment, I think Kenya, since I'm here right here, we have more than five. We call them crypto exchanges, whereby you have people, you have buyers and sellers, just like any market. If you go to a market, you'll find people selling or buying. So here you also find people buying Bitcoin and selling Bitcoin at the same global rate that everybody is using. So I hope that clears it.
Interesting indeed. Because that has been one of the questions people have been asking. If I'm going to put my money in Bitcoin, how am I going to cash it out at a later stage? If you look at it from an investment point of view, as well as, sometimes you just want to try something, and you might get to a point that you need the cash instead of the Bitcoin. And this, as it gets more interesting, I'm just wondering, how does one access Bitcoin? Because a lot of articles online say you mine Bitcoin, and for a layman, when you tell someone that Bitcoin is mined, they think it's the same way we mine gold or diamond. And here
Yes.
you are at the start, you said it's a digital money. So how does one access Bitcoin, and how is it mined, and as well, how long does it take to mine one Bitcoin?
Okay, that's a very, I think it's a question that I normally get from most people who are new. And actually, they have a valid reason why they are, because we come from an environment whereby everything is, when you talk about mining, of course, the first thing that clicks is digging uh, somewhere. So the creator of Bitcoin borrowed that aspect of digging to now this space of a digital platform. So when, let's say in this case, I'm talking about, we are discussing about gold. Gold is
Mhm.
valuable because it is dug from the ground, it is mined.
Mm.
So that is number one. So in this case, Bitcoin has a similar aspect, only that is not physically mined. It is not physically dug. It is done by through a system of through computers. That is, I think that's a simple term. So it's like I'm sure you've heard of people saying data mining. Data mining is basically you are getting data from the online platform and making use of it. So it's the same thing. You are mining Bitcoin from the online platform. Now,
Mm.
another way before I define the term mining now in cryptocurrency, because now that's another topic by itself.
Mhm.
If you, let's say, because I think one of the question was how long does it take to mine Bitcoin? I think that was the other question. So there is a protocol onto how these mining operates. Protocol is just there are some set rules on how this system is, on how this network is operating. So every 10 minutes or every set number of period, there is a block of Bitcoins that are issued, that are being released for use. And I think the main question was, how do you access these Bitcoins? So
Mhm.
the number one way you can access, or rather even acquire, is you can buy
Mhm.
from anybody who has it. That is the first way. Just buy from
Mhm.
anyone who is selling to you. The second way is that you can get paid. You can decide to
Mhm.
accept Bitcoin as a payment. So that's where you are basically acquiring it. And number three now is what now what we're talking about mining, which is now a more technical aspect.
Mhm.
Um, every 10 minutes, I think at the moment, the protocol
Mhm.
is you can mine in 10 minutes. That is what it may be over 10 minutes or below 10 minutes. you are able to acquire or mine about 6.25 bitcoins. Sorry, 6.25 bitcoins at the moment. So early at the inception, that was back in 2009. Programmers, or these people, you call them nerds, used to, of course, go online and mine these bitcoins. They used to get about 50 bitcoins every 10 minutes. So since this is a very short session, I don't want us to go much into details, but just know today people are acquiring 6.25 bitcoins every 10 minutes. And it requires a whole set of data center for you to do that. It's not an easy task. And then on the point of accessing, think of it as your Gmail account. Gmail account, as long as you have internet and your phone, you can access it anywhere. So that's the same thing with bitcoins. Wherever you are, so long as you have your phone and you have your password and internet, you can be able to access your bitcoins using your own passwords. That is as simple as that. Thank you.
Interesting indeed. And I like the fact that you tried to explain in very simple terms how one can access Bitcoin and how it is mined. And you just mentioned it's like your Gmail account. So long as you have internet, you can access it anytime. Now, this gets me to this question where I'm thinking, you say that if I want to access Bitcoins, I can buy from someone or I can do it directly and mine by myself. Who gets the money? Because there's a slight confusion when people think, okay, this is digital money. But again, how can I use money to get money? I hope you understand my perspective. So
Yeah.
who gets this money? Again, this Bitcoin has come like a mystery, You don't know where it's originating from. Everyone is telling you someone somewhere who created an equation. Another one is telling you it started in this country. So who really gets the money when you buy Bitcoin?
Okay, I think that's a good question. I think I'll try and clarify it. So, who gets the money when you're basically either buying or mining Bitcoin? So, what happens if I use something that you and I know? If you go to let's say the stock market, whether it's Nasdaq or even in Nairobi or anywhere, let's say you want to buy shares of a company. So let's say XY company has X number of shares. I don't know whether I think I'm sure I think you've had some lessons here about stocks. So you will be buying X number of stocks based on the price that is trading on the open market. So these shares, who created them? They belong to a company. That's how a company is valued. So this Bitcoin has a similar analogy, only that shares belong to a company, and the company has directors and everything. In this case, Bitcoin doesn't belong to anyone. It's just like the internet. No one knows. One single person can say they own the entire internet, but everybody makes the best of it. That's why it is called an internet. So, but there was a creator of internet. There's somebody who came up with the idea of internet. I think it's called Tim Berners or somebody who came up with the idea of TCP/IP. Now, Bitcoin has a creator also, but he didn't own that. Sorry, he didn't own that development or that creation. He left it open source. So, who are the first people to acquire these Bitcoins? These are the miners. So again, I like using examples because it really simplifies it. If you want to buy gold, you have to buy it for somebody who has it. So that somebody who has it, where did they get it? They get it from one of the mining companies, whether it's in South Africa, it's in one of these people who mine gold. So they were the first people to acquire the gold, basically process it to something sellable, and they sell to the traders. Same thing with Bitcoin. We have people who used to mine Bitcoin. I think that's we just talked about it. Mining by using use of computers. Once they were quiet, they were just tokens. They were just some tokens on the internet. In fact, they used to be free. It didn't have any value. So these people started exchanging these tokens for money for dollars. So with your dollars, you want to buy that Bitcoin. So at that point, you're exchanging now. You're exchanging your dollars for the Bitcoin. You get. So you are now getting when you're buying Bitcoin, you're buying Bitcoin from somebody who has it, meaning somebody who bought the Bitcoins before and they were holding. Or
Oh,
you are buying it from somebody who is mining from the source. So that's what are the two ways. Either you buy it from
oh,
somebody, yeah, you buy it from somebody, or you buy it from somebody who's been mining. And of course, now this is where now the price comes in. In any market, when there are people selling, when there are too many people selling, the price will tend to go down. When there are very many people buying, that is the demand, the price will go up. That's why you see Bitcoin going up and down. That's how to explain it.
all right. Thank you so much for
Yeah.
the profound explanation. To our audience, we are about to come to the end of the show. If you have any question regarding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, feel free to write in the chat box. And our guest, Mr. Kaptich, who is a Bitcoin and blockchain consultant, will be answering as we wind up. So, Mr. Kaptich, I'm thinking you just said you can buy Bitcoin or mine. Is it like a website or where do you go to buy? Because you just mentioned we have crypto exchange shops, or yeah, they are like exchange shops. If I want to buy it, because it's very hard to know who is selling. So, is there a website where someone goes to buy, or you have to go to the crypto exchange shops and buy from there?
Okay. There are very many platforms you can buy this Bitcoin. Remember, it's digital. There's nothing physical here. Everything is online. So you have
Mhm. I think we have lost him again. Apologies, and I hope he will be able to come back again to explain to us where do you buy Bitcoins? Is there a specific website where you need to buy, or are there specific like licensed agents uh, who are licensed to sell Bitcoin, or just anyone can sell it to you? Because I believe this is where scamming has stepped in, as many people have been scammed when it comes to buying Bitcoins, since they do not know where do I buy my Bitcoin. So Mr. Kapchich, we lost you while you were explaining where to
yes,
buy
yes,
Bitcoin.
yeah. So I was saying you can buy it from number one, you can buy it from these websites in the form of exchanges. Remember earlier I used the example of forex bureaus. Forex bureaus are physical places you go to exchange your Kenya shillings to dollars or pounds. So in this case, you're going to an online forex. Let me use that word. So we have people who have set up their online shops and they're selling Bitcoin at a price. We have uh, similar, apart from forex, we have what we call marketplaces, whereby you have very many traders listed, each selling at their own price. So, for example, we have local Bitcoin, we have Binance, we have Paxful. There are very many. So you just go
Mhm,
there, you look at who is giving you the best offer, you buy it. You don't need to see them physically. As long as
mhm,
they are in the system, they are verified, you
mhm,
just buy from them.
mhm,
So the point is, I think there's a word maybe I can introduce here, peer to peer.
mhm.
Peer to peer to
Yeah,
meaning
okay.
you are person to person. You are buying from somebody else who is selling. So
Mhm,
the price is agreed. Once you settle on a price, you transfer the money to their account. then they release the bitcoins to you. That is how maybe I can put it. So yeah, I think that is it. There's no. It's very easy. It's at 5 minutes process, and you either you've bought or you sold your bitcoins. And I think this is where I think maybe next time, this is where now what you call regulations are starting to come in now. Regulations, because these are marketplace. People are trading. The government at some point will want to tax whatever business that people are making out there. So that is, I think that's where now we are going into in the next coming years.
Okay, and you just, you've been mentioning how Bitcoin is useful, and how it is like the next currency that governments will have to step in. And I'm just thinking, what problem? Sorry for that. I'm
Yeah.
just thinking, what's the point of Bitcoin? Because it's digital money. We already have money. So what problem is Bitcoin solving to the market that would make people leave the traditional money and go after Bitcoin?
All right. That's a very it's a very good question. I think most people once what I can say is not very many people know the back to the first session the first question that we asked,
Mhm,
currency and money.
mhm,
Most currencies in the world basically are pegged on. I think it's pegged on the country's. It is by declaration. That is what currencies
mhm,
are, and this is where I'll introduce the point of inflation. Today, Sheila, if you had 10 million 10 years ago,
mhm,
you'd
mhm,
buy a couple of things. But
mhm,
10 million today is not the 10 million that you could have had 10 years ago, meaning the value is gone down. And that is one key aspect that all currencies do suffer.
mhm,
Was it 2014 in Greece? You can imagine you saved money on your bank account, but because of government control and sometimes when the economy is not good, you go to the bank, they are telling you, no, no, your 1 million is not 1 million. You can only get
mhm,
400,000. Where is the
mhm,
other 600,000? It has depreciated. So
mhm,
this now came about to how can we come up with sound money? That is the point number one. We need to have sound money.
mhm,
Gold is valuable because of what? It always appreciates. It never loses
mhm,
value. So Bitcoin is that kind of currency that is digital and that does not depreciate. The second point is that when you are transacting in currencies, like let's say today I'm sending some money to you, I will it will cost me a lot of in terms of fees through the bank. Why?
mhm,
Because bank has to charge me whether I'm sending you 10,000, whether I'm sending
mhm,
you $100 million dollars. In fact, they'll charge me as if $100 million weighs a lot of money, so they'll
mhm,
charge me more. But for Bitcoin, whether you are sending one Bitcoin, whether you are sending 10 Bitcoins or 100 Bitcoins, it's as simple as from your phone, from my
mhm,
phone, brother, to your phone. Fees are very
mhm,
minimal. That's the reason number two why Bitcoin is actually sort of giving us a better option to transact. And then, of course, the last one is control. Everything is within
mhm,
your control. You can move anywhere with your with your holdings. If you have,
mhm,
let's say, if you are visiting, let's say, China, and you are, let's say, in Dubai, you may be restricted in terms of using your money in your account
mhm,
because maybe you are overseas, so you cannot really transact or maybe to a certain limit. But if you have Bitcoin, it's with you, so you can transact freely. You don't need to make declarations that you are holding. It's your money,
mhm,
and that's what actually what the fact that saying it. This is sound. money. And the sooner people realize this, the better now they realize, okay, I think this is now the future that we're heading into. And another example, maybe I could ask you before I come to the end. Do you have any cash with you right now? Physical cash? Do
Sorry,
you have
I
any?
didn't get you.
Do you have any physical cash, like hard cash? You
No.
see, you don't have. Me either. So in the next 2 3 years, how will that be? Yeah. So I leave it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for the great discussion, Mr. Kaptich. We really appreciate your time, and we believe our audience has benefited from today's discussion about Bitcoins and how it works, and they'll be able to make their decision after watching this show on the way forward. So, to our audience, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your support every Wednesday. You are always here coming to learn with us and giving us all the support and time you have. Now, we have been discussing about Bitcoin, what it is, how you can access it, how it works, and most of all, we've tried to discuss on how better it is as compared to the current money that we are used to. So if you'd want to reach out to Mr. Kaptich, he will give us his contacts on or how he would want to be contacted. And as well, if anyone will be writing a question later on or a comment, will be more than happy to pass it over to him so that he can answer it accordingly. So Mr. Kaptich, kindly share with us how someone would contact you if they want to, so we can come to the end of the show.
Yeah, thank you for that, Sheila. I think for me, I prefer Telegram. I think I've sent you my Telegram handle, Teach Crypto. That is my Telegram handle. And of course, if you just search my full names on Facebook, you'll find my just the way it appears on the screen. That's how my Facebook is. So I'm always available for any comment or clarification. So thank you again very much.
You're most welcome. So you can reach out to him on Telegram as Tichi Crypto,
Yeah.
as well as you can find him on Facebook with the same name, Mr. Kaptich Luis. If you have any question or you need any further clarification when it comes to matters Bitcoin. So until then, we encourage you to keep on subscribing to our YouTube channel, you turn on notification, as well as keep watching our videos so that you can get to become money you can get to acquire money skills and be able to live financially healthy. So until then, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We hope to see you next Wednesday, God willing. Stay safe and goodbye.